Good morning. Good morning and welcome. On behalf of the entire State University of New York, welcome to the 6th annual State of the University speech. I want to begin, as always, by acknowledging my colleagues on the SUNY Board of Trustees. I want you to know that these members, including the student and faculty leaders who are also trustees, are some of the finest public servants in New York State, and their dedication to the State University of New York is clear every day. This is important work, and the thoughtful and informed consideration that the board employs to make decisions on key issues and policies is what ensures that the SUNY system can keep growing and succeeding. Thank you all. And please give a round of applause to the trustees as they stand. Thank you. And we could not achieve any of our goals without the incredible leadership of our campus presidents. They are moving the dial on this academic enterprise and strengthening both SUNY and New York State. Please have all the presidents rise and let's give them all a round of applause. I also want to thank the elected officials who have joined us today. In particular, our Senate and Assembly members who are SUNY champions for the campuses that serve their districts. And we also want to thank Mayor Kathy Sheehan, who, as always, is our great host in the city of Albany. May we please have a round of applause for all of our elected officials. Over the years, we have used the State of the University address as our best opportunity to inform the world about the vision Chancellor Nancy Zimpher has crafted for SUNY and the paths that we will follow to achieve our goals in the next year and beyond. We are so fortunate to have a leader who is such an extraordinary change agent, who not only gives us big ideas, but gives us the strategies to make them a reality. It began in 2011 when a year of action was our theme. She talked about how we were working toward not only a competitive SUNY, but a competitive New York. In 2012, we got down to business and learned that becoming more disciplined in how we did business would move our system forward. In 2013, Chancellor Zimpher took on a very controversial topic and showed us that college was indeed worth it. Then in 2014, she brought the systemness concept to a new level and set goals for bringing innovation to scale in every area of this university. And that brings us to last year, 2015, where the Chancellor discussed our biggest challenges. How to meet those challenges is what she put before us with our formula of access, completion, and success. So let me show you a few of the things that happened after that.
An ambitious new goal set by the nation's largest public university system. SUNY said today that it wants to hand out 150,000 diplomas every year by 2020. That's up from the current 93,000.
I'm worried that we're not going to solve the challenges that America faces unless we find a few things that we can all get behind and do together. Our diversity is fabulous, but how about our collective effort on some of the key problems?
Several SUNY leaders voiced a unified objective of keeping tuition costs consistent during attendance for students, as well as working with businesses to provide better placement for graduates in New York State. The request to state legislators for an investment fund is to enable SUNY to graduate 150,000 students annually by 2020, using a variety of evidence-based programs that support student success during their attendance.
Room is helping connected students with local businesses and plan out their next step after college. That was the goal of today's Career Opportunity Expo at the school. More than 50 employers and colleges set up shop inside the technology building to provide information to students about their services and their career opportunities.
A Fredonia student is now a network reality TV star. Fredonia senior Steve Moses has been crowned the champion of Big Brother.
Student at SUNY Delhi won a national Young Chef competition. Mark Garcia won the 2015 Mentor Young Chef competition on September 17th in Chicago.
Speaking of Stony Brook Hospital, it has reached an exciting new milestone. Doctors say the hospital has now delivered 100,000 babies.
Kaiming Yi and his team at Binghamton University are working to develop a new type of 3D printer which would allow doctors to print a personalized organ for any patient.
They took the lead in a 4-6-3 double play, and the Red Dragons win the title.
And for the first time in women's lacrosse program history, SUNY Cortland wins the Division III Women's Championship.
He launches a three, that's the buzzer, that's no good. And the Bulls are the MAC champs. They're going dancing.
Rebound comes out to Hooley for the win. And Albany is going to the NCAA tournament for the third consecutive year.
The feds are helping a local group of scientists working on a treatment to kill HIV and other viruses. Hocus Locus is a biotech startup based at SUNY Polytechnic I first told you about last month. It's just been awarded more than $1 million by the National Institutes of Health and National Science Foundation.
So we need a stable police department with consistent staffing, and SUNY doesn't have that right now. In fact, SUNY has termed it critical. That's their term. In fact, this bill is their bill. Chancellor Zimpher, Chairman McCall, they support it. The Board of Trustees have supported it. This union supports it. But again, it's SUNY's bill because they need it for safe campuses.
Governor Cuomo introduced his Enough is Enough legislation last year, and all SUNY schools jumped on board, adopting the sexual assault prevention policy.
Today is SUNY Day and a great day to visit the SUNY Plaza in the Science and Industry Building. Representatives from all 64 SUNY schools will visit the fairgrounds in shifts throughout the duration of the fair. You can pick up information on academics, athletics, and special college programs. The plaza is perfect for anyone considering a college degree.
Officials from SUNY gathering on Broadway today for a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the newly renovated SUNY Plaza front lawn and main entrance.
And we're proud to have this building be a landmark for this city. We at SUNY Plaza want to be an anchor facility, but the State University of New York wants to be an anchor system.
Well, that's it. I think you can see that it just gets more amazing every year. And as always, we want to make sure you know about even more of the great things happening at SUNY. So each of you today will leave with a copy of our Good News Yearbook. Please make sure you get this as you leave. Before we move to the main event today, we are very honored to have a true SUNY champion with us. It's now my privilege to introduce the Lieutenant Governor, Kathy Hochul. Lieutenant Governor Hochul has a long history of public service, serving as a Western New York Town Council member, county clerk, then Congresswoman, representing New York's 26th Congressional District. I've had the pleasure of sharing a stage with the Lieutenant Governor on several occasions. Most recently, we spoke at the opening of SUNY's Downstate Medical Center's Biotechnology Incubator in Brooklyn, a major step forward for our SUNY system. The Lieutenant Governor has been a strong advocate for the Enough is Enough sexual assault prevention program and has helped to spread the message to both public and private college campuses across this state, all while maintaining one of the most demanding schedules of any state elected official. This is something our own Chancellor knows about firsthand. Remember her 64 campus tour? Now, during the Lieutenant Governor's first year in office, when she visited each of the state's 62 counties, she logged enough miles to circle the globe twice. Many of our campuses were part of those visits, and the Lieutenant Governor is a strong proponent for what SUNY can do for students to prepare them to be future leaders in the new economy. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the 77th Lieutenant Governor of the state of New York, the Honorable Kathy Hochul.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I appreciate that. And among those travels, and I have to tell you, this is a true story, my husband, who is a UB Law School graduate, very proud of that, and is now the United States Attorney, he loves to tell people, he goes, the only difference between you and God, honey, is that God is everywhere. You're everywhere but home. So that's a pretty true statement, but he's a good guy, and it works out well for us. But thank you, Chairman McCall, and I have seen you at so many SUNY events as well, and the pride that you wear so visibly of your association and leadership of this institution is amazing. First of all, I followed your career my entire life, the work you did for all of us as our state comptroller and how you restored integrity and fiscal responsibility to our state in that capacity, but also your willingness to step up and help lead this institution to even greater glory. We so appreciate that. And of course, this is your day, Chancellor Zimpher. We're here just to do a little lead-in for you. It's like the Golden Globes. You get to talk about all the great things that have gone on. And I just want to tell you, you have had, in your short time here, a profound impact on not just education, not just students, but truly the state of New York. And you should be proud of that. You should wear it. And I look forward to spending the next few years working closely with you as we work together to elevate this state and this institution to even higher levels. And your trustees, I know many of you. I can't go to Western New York without Eunice getting my ear on something. She's always, she's a great advocate. All of you work strongly, closely together, so thank you for your so much. But why I'm here today is that I am part of the governor's rather innovative idea that we need to do much more to create a synergy between education and the economy. And that is how we take New York State to the next level. So as chairperson of the 10 Regional Economic Development Councils, I've been all over attending their meetings, and what it is he's brought together since 2011 the academic leadership as well as the political leadership, the business community, labor, and not-for-profits to really come up with the visions for their areas. So you hear about this frequently, but such a critical part of this is the role that SUNY plays. And you cannot understate this, because I was astounded to learn, and I do travel a fair amount, all your campuses. I don't think there's a person in New York State that lives further than 30 miles from a SUNY campus. Is that true? 93% of our population's within 15 miles. So you've no excuse. I mean, you have a world-class, affordable education right in your own communities, and that's the story we need to continue to tell. But what is their role with respect to business generation, job creation? I'll tell you, I saw firsthand Friday night. I was coming back from the airport rather late from LaGuardia to Buffalo, and if you're ever sitting next to me on a plane, we're going to talk. I love talking to people on planes. I learn a lot. And I sat next to this gentleman, probably 40 years old, and he told me, he started telling me about his business. I said, well, what brought you from Silicon Valley to downtown Buffalo? Because he was telling me how he started a business. He came to Buffalo, and he says, well, first of all, I came because of the Startup New York program and UB, University of Buffalo. I had an advantage there, leaving California to bring jobs to New York State. And then he also said, and you'll be proud to know this, I could not get better qualified engineers than the graduates from the University of Buffalo. So I'm sitting there beaming with pride. I mean, I thought this is great. But I also thought, as we continued our conversation, he said, but now I was so successful in this short time, I sold my business, basically told me he had a lot of money, which is great, but the company that bought his business decided to stay in the startup zone. And now, because he can't compete, he has a lot of time on his hands. He says, I want to go back to UB. I want to volunteer my time. I want to mentor other students to have the advantage that I had. So look at the ripple effect of a program like Startup, like the alignment with the SUNY system, and what we're doing for people all over. And he actually told me he's going to go to an educational opportunity center with underprivileged individuals and work with them as well in the city of Buffalo, right next to the city mission. So I got off that plane saying, this is working. This is working. And I also say earlier in that day, I was at SUNY New Paltz. The governor wanted to use that as the backdrop for a major announcement on our expansion of broadband. And this is a major, major initiative. No other state is willing to tackle something this ambitious, but of course we're in New York and we like to think big. We are going to have 100% high-speed broadband throughout the entire state of New York by the end of 2018. We announced it at a SUNY campus, and while I was on that campus, I had the opportunity to meet many of the graduates who are now employed on the campus, particularly in the Advanced Manufacturing Center and their 3D printer, which blew me away. I love seeing 3D printers. I'm not sure how it all works, but it fascinates me to know the products and the customization that can occur and the opportunity for young people just to have a great idea and to be able to do a prototype rather inexpensively, see if it works, and then be able to take it to market. I'm seeing that all over, and SUNY, you are leading the way on this as well, creating opportunities for students as your graduates as well. I also just want to mention, I saw in the paper this morning your internship program. I'm sure you'll talk about that, but as a member of Congress, I can't tell you how hard I worked to try and get the leaders of the educational institutions in my district to sit down with the CEOs and have that conversation. Business committee, tell us the skills you need. Not today, but the skills you're going to need in 3 to 5 years so our institutions can be ready for you. And can you give our students a chance, a real-world experience? It'll make a difference tremendously. So I know we'll hear more about that. And I'll also talk very briefly just about your leadership and Chancellor Zimpher, the way you embrace the Enough is Enough campaign. And there were institutions around the state who were not part of the SUNY system who didn't exactly embrace this. I mean, there was this thought that, you know, if we talk about sexual assault on campus, people will think we've got a bigger problem than we have and no one's going to want to come here. And what I've said in every corner of this state is that if I'm a parent in another state looking at colleges, and I know New York State has got the toughest laws on the books in addressing sexual assault on college campuses, ladies and gentlemen, that's where I want my little girl to go. So I think it's actually a strength that we have, that we leaned into this issue, we spoke about it, we brought it out from under the shadows, and that would not have happened without SUNY embracing this, leading the way. And anytime I go to another campus and they say, well, we're not quite sure what to do, we don't have the resource, I said, no. And Nancy told me, as you said, there is a SUNY college that's either the same size in the same community, the same region of the state, that can be a leader and help be a role model for that. So thank you for helping end the specter of sexual assault on campuses in the state of New York, and you deserve a round of applause for that. So obviously you can tell I'm a little bit excited about this. I'm looking forward to being further immersed in what you're doing over the next year, and we'll become great partners. But at this point, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce a true student leader. And actually, I started in student government myself, so you never know where it leads you. The SUNY Student Assembly President and Student Trustee Tom Mastro is going to introduce the Chancellor, but he started his journey in education as an Onondaga Community College student in the fall of 2012. He transferred to SUNY Broome College before going on to Binghamton, and he's working on his degree in human development with a minor in education. But what I was intrigued to know is that his goal for SUNY is to make it the best it can be in the nation for over nearly 500,000 students. And I like people who think big, Tom. I like that ambitious goal, and we are right there with you. So thank you, everyone, for what you do on behalf of SUNY and the students of the state of New York. Thank you.
On behalf of my 465,000 peers, I want to thank the Lieutenant Governor Hochul for joining us today as we gather to chart the course for 2016 at the State University of New York. Your steadfast commitment to students and economic development throughout New York State has been unparalleled. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking Lieutenant Governor Hochul. I would also be remiss if I didn't recognize the leadership of Chairman McCall. The voice of the student trustee is made stronger because of the chairman's efforts to ensure that we have a genuine seat at the table. Please join me once again in thanking Chairman McCall for all he has done and continues to do for SUNY. As president of the Student Assembly, I take a lot of credit for the work of my outstanding executive committee. But in return, I get them good seats at events like the State of the University Address. This last semester has been very productive for the Student Assembly as we strive to ensure the best possible collegiate experience for our students. None of what we accomplish would be possible without the hard work and dedication of our executive committee. Please join me in recognizing their accomplishments. Since being sworn in June, we have achieved a great deal. It was clear when I took office that the Student Assembly needed a bit of a makeover. Our new brand, new website, and recently released online magazine, Cobalt, we have revamped how and ways in which we engage with our students. We also knew that there were several committees at the SUNY level which were in need of an effective and diverse student representation. With the help of Chancellor Zimpher and her staff, I am proud to say that we now have students sitting on nearly a dozen committees at the SUNY level. This represents a significant dedication from both students and administrators toward the shared governance process. Ensuring that we are actively involved in the development of policies at all levels which affect students has been and continues to be a priority for this administration. We have passed resolutions in areas of equity, inclusion, sustainability, campus safety, legislative affairs, and academic affairs. This last semester alone, the Student Assembly has proven to support remedies for critical issues in our country and around the world. We voted in support of the United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Goals and gender inclusivity. We took a firm stance against sexual assault and violence on campuses. We spoke out against attempts to silence students from having their voice heard on legitimate issues surrounding justice and equality. We have and will continue to support a fair, equitable, and predictable tuition plan. And we believe that it is vital for there to be a chief diversity officer on all of our campuses across our system to foster a welcoming and inclusive environment. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a new day for the State University of New York. The positive and tangible impact that the Student Assembly has on SUNY is furthered by the support of Chancellor Zimpher. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing the Chancellor today. In addition to my role as Student Assembly President and Trustee, I sit as a member of the Chancellor's Cabinet. Over the last 7 months, I've had the opportunity to look behind the scenes and see how SUNY operates. I've seen firsthand the extraordinary efforts put forth by the leadership of SUNY in working to enhance the student experience and progress our true system to new heights. Chancellor Zimpher has not only proven to appreciate bold and innovative ideas for students, she encourages them. I can stand up and speak out for students knowing that my input does not go unheard, due in large part to the Chancellor's sincere desire to work with us to make SUNY the very best that it can be. Chancellor Zimpher, thank you for your commitment and dedication to the greatest students of the greatest education system in the country. In just a moment, we will hear from a true champion for students, our leader, Chancellor Nancy L. Zimpher.
Wow. It's just very, very exciting to be here. This is the first time in our history that we've had representation from the governor's office, and I thought that Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul's remarks were from the heart and from the personality and from the visits that she's had to our campus, so it's really a thrill. And I'm assuming that Governor Cuomo is doing what I've been doing for the last few days, and that's getting ready for Wednesday, and many of us will be there to hear his remarks in the most important State of the State address. For all of you who've come to spend some time with us, our elected officials, our Board of Trustees, led, of course, by our amazing Carl McCall. Chairman McCall is just an absolute delight with him to partner in so many ways. His passion and his commitment to the state of New York, and I think we dare say one of the state's greatest assets, if not its greatest, is really a privilege for me, Carl. So thank you very, very much.
There are so many people to thank, and amongst our trustees, the fact that we have our students at the table, I know is appreciated by our trustees and by our faculty leaders as well. And Tom Mastro, you're just a fabulous leader and a great partner, and I just want to thank you again for everything you and your team are doing. And for all friends, family, community leaders, and most importantly, our presidents, you do know who does the work, don't you? I mean, it's no secret. And the fact that you were acknowledged and you stood, and let us thank you for the critical work that each and every one of our campuses does. It's just a great privilege to work for you. And it's a great privilege to hold a position in an entity that is of so much value to this state. So what you came for is to hear what we've done and what we're going to do next. So Chairman McCall mentioned that I stood on this stage a couple of years ago, and this is the first time that you heard this word systemness. And trust me, we have had a ton of fun putting this on Wikipedia and spreading the word. And then last year I was in Washington, D.C., and we were interviewing with the local press there. And one of the journalists asked me a sort of surprising question. On a scale of 1 to 10, he said, "How do you think systemness is doing?" He wanted me literally to rate our effectiveness and its success at SUNY. That might sound like a big ask, an on-the-spot question, but actually it's an easy one. He asked me off the record, so today I'm going to make up for that and go on the record. Right now, in 2016, I give system a 10. Surprise, surprise. Effective, but not only effective, but absolutely necessary. Partnerships, working together towards shared goals with a shared vision. This is the only way to ensure that public higher education in the 21st century is doing its job. That we are truly preparing students for work and for life and making sure our students finish school with the right skills and knowledge, equipped to be critical thinkers and good decision makers and creators and communicators, that they can be leaders in the future. So we've used this lens of systemness to reflect on what we've accomplished literally over now our 7th year of working together. Let's start with seamless transfer. We have more than 460,000 students, 30,000 of them transfer between our campuses every year, and 44% of our bachelor graduates started at one of our community colleges. I am telling you, the team is under 30. They get it. They know, I don't. So with all this movement, we need to be sure that when students transfer, they don't lose time, they don't lose credit, they don't lose a single hard-earned dollar of what they've invested. And until we had this new transfer policy, we couldn't ensure that. So we worked together with our faculty to solve that problem. And today, more than 166,000 students are enrolled in what we call transfer paths, 54 of these transfer paths. And this is across many fields, from aerospace engineering to nursing to theater. And we maintain a system-wide database of 40,000 courses guaranteed to transfer. I can tell you, across the nation, this is a groundbreaking step in helping more New Yorkers than ever complete a college degree. And then, of course, there's DegreeWorks. All of our campuses know this. Our campuses are using this to help transfer students. And any SUNY student, to stay on track, together with a customized degree planning tool we call DegreeWorks. We're still refining it, but even as we do, in just the last 8 months of using DegreeWorks to help move people along, 500,000 unique SUNY users, including not only students, but parents and advisors, are using DegreeWorks. And that's another reason why we added SmartTrack. You notice that we brand everything, so you got to keep up with this. Now, SmartTrack is a system, a tool, again, that students can use to calculate the cost of their education to the dollar, even before they apply to SUNY. And when they're enrolled at SUNY, they get targeted support from their campus that could make all the difference in finishing their degree. And because of our affordability and Smart Track together, SUNY sees lower student loan default rates than our national counterparts. With these results, Smart Track has become the national standard for the creation of tools and interventions like this. We've been touted by the White House and the Education Department as the go-to model to copy as the best. And then, of course, there's Open SUNY. Through Systemness, we've created and launched Open SUNY, the world's largest consortium for online learning, with 472 online programs and 20,000 course sections. And we are still extending access to limitless numbers of people anywhere in the world. Since its launch in 2014, more than 230,000 students have enrolled in Open SUNY classes. They're using it to speed time to degree, to fit classes into a busy schedule, and many are using it to complete multiple majors at once. We have a solid infrastructure to build on and to do even more. So we're taking it to the next level. We're calling it Open SUNY 2.0, and we will be focused on working with students toward degree, but now extending our reach to engage anyone interested in taking a course or two for professional development or personal enrichment. We're using it to build our capability in what are called stackable credentials that ultimately lead to a degree. So Open SUNY 2.0 will be our optimized personal education network, Open SUNY. And then, of course, there's Cradle to Career, the work we are doing starting 7 years ago when SUNY wasn't actively building bridges between higher education and K-12 to fix the leaks in the education pipeline. Now we're committed tenaciously to strengthening the entire length of that pipeline through our Cradle to Career partnerships throughout the state. 7 years ago, there were 0. Today, SUNY is a co-founder and leader in 8 C2C sites, including the Albany Promise, as well as more than 60 innovative early college high school models that lift up thousands of students and schools in low-income neighborhoods and help them on the path to success. Many of you know that we've spent the year in a deep dive in teacher preparation, critical to our Cradle to Career efforts. In modernizing teacher preparation, we are laser focused. And because you know what? Teaching is rocket science. And to treat it as anything less is a disservice to our students. Excellent teaching is the #1 in-school factor for student success. And because SUNY trains 25% of New York's teachers, we own this challenge through our Master Teacher Program and our Teach New York initiative in partnership with the state, with Commissioner Mary Ellen Elia, and with expert input from our faculty. We are leading the charge in policy and practice reinvention to make sure New York is training and retaining the best teachers, literally, in the world. Now, we also have made big moves in shared services. This is just another way to look at the lens of systemness. In 2011, we committed to sharing our system services across our regions, to saving money, and then taking those savings and putting it right back into support for our students. Shared services is truly a matter of and a measure of operational excellence. Within just a few years of sharing services in HR, IT, procurement, we have extended our $100 million run rate, and we continue to save, and we have just scratched the surface. Next month, for the first time, we will convene our operational excellence team. These are campus business officers and CIOs and system staff who will work together to create more efficiencies and maximize savings so that those dollars can be rerouted to student success. And while I think most of you know our economic impact it is surely a derivative of our systemness. In my first days at SUNY in 2009, it was clear we had the potential to be New York's most innovative driver. Just look at this map. We are everywhere, and we can be everything. We employ almost 90,000 people across the state. That's direct employment and doesn't include the hundreds of thousands of jobs created by the presence of campuses in our communities. At SUNY, for every $1 in state tax support, we generate a $5 impact up to more than $17 billion of economic impact annually. In workforce development, our colleges are collaborating with business to expand and build our programs so that SUNY is preparing students in a targeted way to succeed in jobs in high-demand fields. Hard skills and soft skills, familiarity with technology, communication skills, creative thinking, and problem solving. This is what businesses are telling us they need, and all of our campuses are working to meet those needs. In brick and mortar, SUNY has invested $6.1 billion in capital construction since 2009. And with that came more than 47,000 construction jobs in New York, up to 90% over 2004 to 2009. These are major investments in our communities that garner major returns. And as you know, we partnered with Governor Cuomo to create Startup New York. New York now has almost 4,500 new jobs, 157 new companies. 143 of these are on or near our SUNY campuses. Startup has generated more than $225 million in new investment in New York's economy, and SUNY is responsible for 90% of those results. Did I get that right? Leslie? Okay, thank you, presidents. You are doing great work. With regard to our systemness and research, inquiry, and discovery, we need to talk about our investments, our returns, and our big wins. In the last 5 years, SUNY developed technologies that have earned more than $62 million in royalties. The number of patents issued since 2009 is up 44% over the previous 5 years. This is across a vast array of inventions, from breakthroughs in battery storage to drugs that treat gum disease in your dog. I just want to make sure you were listening. So, as a sample of our big research wins, in 2015 alone, Albany, Binghamton, Buffalo, Stony Brook, and SUNY Poly, our university and research centers won more than $200 million across 5 big grants alone. Terrific work. Congratulations. So we have breakthrough strategies in healthcare, photonics, crime scene investigation, and meteorology, the science of how we measure just about anything under the sun. This and all of this, a lot of these accomplishments, a lot of the heavy lifts, I am confident in saying could not have been done without one important thing. In 2011, we did what many have said was impossible. We instituted a stable, predictable, and fair tuition policy for our state-operated campuses. This would simply not have happened without the visionary leadership of Governor Cuomo, who is truly SUNY's greatest champion. With NY SUNY 2020, for 5 years, students have been able to plan for tuition costs, and New York resident tuition remains the most affordable in the Northeast and among the most affordable in the nation. And even with incremental tuition increases, we've assured that New York's highest need students are still able to go to SUNY tuition-free. With this commitment and investments from the state, we've had the support we need to ensure that SUNY's tuition may be a bargain, but the education we deliver is also first rate. So that's 10 monumental tasks that make massive impact at scale. None of this could have happened without systemness, without partnerships and cooperation within SUNY. The dedication of our presidents and our board, with our faculty, our students, our staff, with the stakeholders who believe in us, our governor, elected officials at every level, including our higher education chairs in the state legislature, our business and community leaders who get it, that education isn't an isolated thing, and believe and live the proverb that a rising tide lifts all boats. So, of course, it's time to say if you think those achievements are something, here's how SUNY will keep going above and beyond. There are 3 big indicators of this forward momentum that I want you to hear about. First, SUNY is committed to bringing applied learning to scale, and in 2015, we took a big step toward that reality. Today, as some of you have read, if you got up early and read the paper, we are announcing the launch of Internshop. Did I say we brand everything? Experiential learning is one of the best ways for students, for anyone, to truly learn anything. It's the real work experience that makes a difference in mastering skills, in completion, and in success after graduation. To this end, we have partnered with the New York State Business Council to develop this new tool that connects students to internships. Think of it as an internship pipeline. Thousands of companies, from small businesses to some of the largest in the world, are members of the New York State Business Council. Internshop matches these employers with prospective interns from SUNY. It's efficient and effective, and this semester, SUNY students will have exclusive access to Internshop. This is a real cross-sector collaboration, collective impact at work, and after this semester's pilot, we're pretty sure other colleges and universities around the state will want in on it too. Don't you just love that? So, second in indicators of our forward momentum is a thing called SUNY Excels. Building on our commitment to accountability, SUNY is taking bolder steps than ever to be transparent about our performance at every level. Through what we call SUNY Excels, we will be able to track and monitor how we're doing, the full number of New York residents we serve, graduation rates, time to degree, student financial literacy, the numbers of creative works and publications we put out every year. Through 2 years of debate, and trust me, we settled on 17 distinct metrics across 5 areas. And with every deep dive into the data, we can see where we need to do better and target our energy and resources to get the outcomes we want and New York needs. As part of this process, last year, we put it to our campuses to create individualized performance improvement plans. PIPs? I don't know. I think we need to work on that. But our presidents have been working on that, and we have set ambitious goals. Our 64 presidents led campus teams that have delivered to SUNY system great plans. It says here with great enthusiasm. I'm right? Great enthusiasm. You've showed us that you'll be doubling down on your efforts on enrollment and retention. You plan to expand services in our highly successful educational opportunity programs. You'll seek to establish new degree programs in high-demand areas, and you told us that you want to add stackable credentials, an approach we know keeps students engaged and motivated, and therefore more likely to complete and be prepared for careers, advanced education, and life. These plans are impressive, and last month we approved them all. And in our commitment to transparency, every single one of these plans is available to view in full online. Thank you, presidents. Now, so this is another way in which we pull together and we address the world's greatest challenges because we have found a way to assess our performance and move forward. There's one more indicator of our continued momentum, and it's a very important sign of our progress as a system. These are tumultuous times, and college campuses are not immune. You know it from the news, and you know it from your own lived experience. SUNY was founded on the principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is our bedrock. If you know anything about our story, it's that we were founded to create opportunity for the growing legion of Americans who wanted or needed access to college but couldn't get it because of the color of their skin, or the religion they practiced, or the sound of their name, or the simple fact that a she wasn't a he. SUNY's openness must always continue to be fully inclusive of all New Yorkers, to truly be the people's university. In the past year, SUNY's Diversity Task Force shaped the creation of the most aggressively inclusive university policy in the country. Our Board of Trustees adopted it in September, and the policy now calls for each campus and our system headquarters to put in place this year a diversity and inclusion plan that addresses recruitment, retention, campus climate, and much, much more. Central to these plans, every campus will have a chief diversity officer, every campus will offer cultural competency training, and every campus will report annually on their progress tied to campus leader evaluations. Dedicated faculty researchers will support our Chief Diversity Officers Network and evaluate the policy for effectiveness. This is a top priority for us, an overarching commitment. Every policy decision we make as a system will ensure that while every student or staff member who comes to SUNY may have their ideas challenged, their safety, their dignity, and their sense of belonging can't ever be at risk. This commitment has to be palpable on every campus. All of these things, diversity training and performance measurement and shared services and cradle to career and seamless transfer, these are things SUNY wasn't doing at scale before systemness. But now we are, and it's making a difference. And some would say there is simply no stopping us now. So we are here today, and with all these accomplishments of the last 7 years behind us, to frame for achieving the work cut out for us, and it has to be clearer than ever. We are guided by our commitment to access, completion, and success, and to make that formula real, to show the world what it means. Last year, we committed to 2 big, audacious goals. One, we set a completion agenda. We committed to raising SUNY's 93,000 completions a year to 150,000 by 2020. Now, Alex Cartwright has his eye on me, and he thinks I should say 2025, but one way or the other, we are going to get there as quickly as we possibly can. And this is where all our work comes to a head, all of it. And it's where our performance system and diversity policy become tools to lift the completion line, and with it, lift millions more New Yorkers into better lives. If we did nothing differently, I am told, if we hadn't set this completion agenda, we have projected that our completion number would actually go down. But by setting this goal and bringing to scale enrollment, retention, and completion strategies that are proven to work, we can get to that big 150. We're not taking shots in the dark. We're talking about taking what works to scale. To meet our goal and New York's need to have at least 70% of its residents trained and educated beyond high school, we will employ tactics from across 4 strategies: bringing to scale increased retention and decreased time to degree; bringing to skill degrees layered in credentials where students can make significant progress and skill mastery one block at a time. And we need to increase traditional enrollment through a range of cradle-to-career tactics. And fourthly, we need to increase our online enrollment while working with faculty to enhance and ensure the quality of those courses and experiences. New York needs us to do this. We need to do it so nearly 13 million New Yorkers of working age can succeed in the jobs that drive our economy and support a good quality of life. Which brings me to our second goal of 2015. To bring to scale the best ideas that are proven to work, we committed to creating an investment and performance fund. To bring to scale the best ideas that are proven to work, so we are committed to creating this investment and performance fund. We told New York that we needed new support to take our state to the next level. And a year ago, we said if we had new investment from the state, we could stretch it to make a difference at every one of our campuses and reach every one of our students. The state listened. Okay, SUNY, we'll give you $18 million, and we said, New York, we'll take your 18 and we'll raise it to 82 through what's called innovative budgeting. And through a lot of savings, we grew the state's investment into a $100 million fund, and we opened it up to every part of the SUNY system. We put it out to the campuses. We said, show us what works. Show us what you're doing that you can prove makes a difference in completion. And if it's that good, we'll bring it to scale. On a very tight deadline. Do you notice how many times I have to thank the presidents today? It's real. 61 campuses came back with a total of 211 proposals, which translated into a wish list of $489 million of completion ideas. Did I say the fund was $100 million, but $489 million worth of ideas came to us? So we had some pretty tough choices to make. To help, we enlisted a panel of independent external reviewers to ensure that the ideas put forward were consistent with or exceeded national best practices. And from their recommendations, we selected programs that will give our system and our students the most bang for the buck. Today, we are excited to announce the first round of awards. We are investing in 32 proposals across 31 of our SUNY institutions. And that includes initiatives for enhanced advising, development of student success centers, stronger K-12 connections, new opportunities for applied learning, and much, much more. So as long as I have you here, just for a few more minutes, let's give a little more specifics about a few of these first round winning programs that we'll be announcing today. Let me start, Johanna, with Quantway Statway. It may not be a household term yet, but it's coming to a campus near you. There are a lot of successful people in this room, but I bet many of you struggled, as I did, with math in school. Low scores on math assessments can hold back or derail even the best students. So, students who excel in other areas, how could we manage a growth of math knowledge and serve our at-risk students who often find math even harder? They take remedial math, they don't succeed, they get discouraged, and they drop out. They need stronger interventions than what we've traditionally been able to offer until now.
Currently, 1 of every 2 first-time full-time students at our community colleges is taking at least one remedial course, costing them money and time that does not contribute to their progress towards a degree. Targeting readiness in mathematics and statistics, SUNY Community College faculty are bringing to scale use of the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching's Quantway Statway pathways, from remediation to credit-bearing coursework. These strategies have a demonstrated success rate twice that of traditional remediation courses in half the time. This approach is moving the dial like never before to get students on the path to degree completion.
Prior to taking my Quantway, I was an art major, and I have a degree in illustration, but that means that I didn't take math for 5 years. All of a sudden, everything in my life changed, and I really wanted to be a nursing major. But to be a nursing major, you need to have statistics. And that's what I really liked about my Quantway, because it really helped me to excel in statistics, and I ended up doing exponentially better than I thought I was going to. And now I'm studying in an accelerated nursing program to get my second bachelor's degree. And I really feel like the foundation that I got here at RCC helped me to be just a better student overall, especially with that class.
17 SUNY campuses are now involved in teaching and planning Quantway Statway programs through a $1.8 million grant from the Gates Foundation, enabling the participation of more than 20,000 SUNY students. With further support from the Investment and Performance Fund, this proven methodology will be taken to scale across all SUNY campuses.
Don't you just love that? I want to see if I can say the word that she is exponentially better in her daily vocabulary. So it is remarkable. And this faculty-driven approach has had strong support for scaling from our faculty leadership. The speed with which we've been able to scale up Quantway Statway is breathtaking. And a year ago, only 4 of our campuses offered Quantway. But today, we're announcing that because of the investment fund, it is now available to any one of our 64 campuses that want it. Bravo. Another approach we're bringing to scale with the investment fund is the application of early alert tools. Like Quantway Statway, these are proven, targeted interventions for the students who need them.
Simply put, all students could benefit from additional support outside of the classroom. We know that our most at-risk students have benefited tremendously from the advising, counseling, and tutoring support provided as part of the Educational Opportunity Program. That we have been able to increase enrollment in EOP and increase the number of campuses offering the program, thanks to new state support, will absolutely increase student retention and completion. As we work to meet additional need in EOP, we are also working to extend some of EOP's successes to even more students beyond the program. There, our focus is on early alerts.
An early alert system is something that would help students identify problems that they may be having, whether it is on the academic side or non-academics, student life side, that keeps them from doing well in their courses and meeting their goals to get their degree. The early alert system that we're looking for would be something that is comprehensive, where everyone will be able to plug into this to help the student with not just academics, but really everything while they're going through the 4 years at GCU. Retaining students, it is very important. This would definitely help that across the SUNY system.
SUNY is investing in proven early alert approaches in every aspect of student support. SUNY's commitment to increasing completion rates is inextricably linked to a commitment to increasing student supports. With continued state support, we can ensure that the needs of every student are met.
So I hope you see that these are proactive activities, early alerts, not reactive. We want to reach students in time to help them enroll in the right classes, meet with advisors, get the tutoring they need, and pass the course. So today we are announcing that through the investment fund, we are able to bring best in practice early alert tools to scale across the system like never before. Which leads us to a term that's become somewhat universal in the last couple of years called predictive analytics. There's a lot going on in this field, and we know that you can't be a successful system of anything in the 21st century if you don't have the right data and the ability to use it. Collecting and analyzing data will become increasingly essential to every aspect of research and education. And it's what they've done in healthcare, and I can't see why we can't apply the same theory and practices to education. So with the support from the investment fund, we will be developing SUNY's capabilities in predictive analytics, identifying patterns and trends and obstacles and successes across our campuses and student body. We'll be empowered to do things we could not do before, and with targeted precision. Identify at-risk freshmen and get them the supports they need. Create the best interventions and advising. Enrich our diversity and equity. Strengthen our economic impact. Reinvent teacher preparation and better support every aspect of our research.
SUNY researchers have long played a key role in solving state and global challenges, from creating the MRI and translating barcode technology to developing new methods for diagnosing Alzheimer's. But we can do even more through increased collaboration. As part of the SUNY Excels performance system and with focused investment, all campuses have made an unprecedented commitment to grow research and grant activity in STEM, the social sciences, arts and humanities, and workforce development, and to increase cross-campus partnerships. One example, SUNY's 4 university centers are working to bring access to world-class computing platforms and cyber infrastructure to every SUNY campus.
Data analytics is very important right now because we have gone through a digital revolution as a society, and mining the data that is stored is very important for all of us in what we do. We know that Data SUNY works because of the seed program that UB has been running with Oneonta, and we know that by having the central resources at UB and providing the support services, we are able to support classes that are being taught in this wide variety of subjects, from philosophy to sociology to history to bioinformatics. The partnership that we're building has the 4 research centers in it, and they would build the data hubs. The model is we run the computers and have the support services. Oneonta teaches courses, and they have access to the computers. And so we're sort of behind the scenes. This investment will allow us to expand our ability to work with other campuses in the SUNY system to understand data better, analyze it better, and educate students more.
Building on this pilot effort is just one example of the impressive campus commitments. SUNY set a goal to increase sponsored research activity to $1.5 billion a year by 2025. Based on current campus goals, we will be well on our way to meeting that target by 2020.
So, we're putting investment funds behind data. And today, because we brand all of our intentionality, we are announcing SUNY Path. SUNY Path. With SUNY's researchers and information scientists, we will create the most comprehensive set of predictive analytics to improve teaching, learning, and the entire education enterprise like never before anywhere in the world. I never tire of saying it. There is no other system like SUNY in scale, in scope, and opportunity. Maximizing our data capabilities will lead to discoveries that transform public higher education and research in New York, across the country, and literally around the world. So, as I round third and head for home, that's a statement I brought from Cincinnati, I want to say the image that is provoked of how we are turning momentum into results. And it's a flywheel. This is Jim Collins, and you know how much I love Good to Great. He says, in building a great institution, it feels like turning a giant flywheel, pushing with great effort. Days, weeks, and months of work, you finally get the flywheel to inch forward. But you don't stop. You keep pushing, and it builds momentum. Then, at some point, breakthrough. This is how you build greatness. So what does this mean for SUNY? It means that all the wins we've encountered happen through pushing our flywheel together, seamless transfer and smart track, and every advancement in research or workforce development at any of our campuses happen through throwing shoulders to the wheel, and in so doing, inspiring others to join in, to lend their strength. So what's next? Where do we go from here? What do we do with our momentum, our wins? We use this energy, this momentum we've created to create even more success. Because success breeds commitment and support, which breeds even greater success, which breeds more support and more commitment. And we keep pushing. We push to continue to expand access, completion, and success to new heights. And we push to advance scholarship and scientific inquiry and public engagement to new depths. We push until everyone gets the message that college completion isn't about the diploma framed on the wall. It's about what that degree or credential means. Degrees today must be imbued with meaning. More than ever, they must stand for skills learned and knowledge acquired. We are intent unwaveringly on ensuring that every student's college experience is meaningful and useful. Everything you just heard, every program we are bringing to scale, is riveted on ensuring that every student has the chance to succeed. Maybe a college degree won't be the end game for everyone, but it can't be for lack of opportunity, and it's certainly not going to be for lack of our trying to get it right. This is the responsibility of public higher education in 2016 and 2017 and 2030 and 2050, and it's what SUNY will keep doing, innovating and adapting to reach every student and to give him or her the chance to succeed. The things we are doing are working. It's clear. We are not casting around for ideas about what to do or where to go next. For now, we know. It's to stand up and throw all our support behind what we know works. Over the last months, I've traveled the state to ask New Yorkers to stand with us. We've gone to campuses and met with presidents and faculty and students. We've reached out to our alums, a legion 3 million strong. We've gone to our partners and friends in the business community, and we've been knocking on legislators' doors. 2015 was a pivotal year for SUNY because it was the end of phase 1 of NY SUNY 2020. Truly a visionary measure made law by Governor Cuomo 5 years ago. With the provisions of NY SUNY 2020, we were able to deliver on our promises and set and meet even bigger goals. We expanded and enhanced education access and quality to new heights in New York. We have been asking New Yorkers to stand with SUNY, our university. When you do this, when you stand with SUNY, you are telling our state partners that you believe in bringing the best completion practices to scale and that the Investment and Performance Fund will get us there. Standing with SUNY means telling our state partners that we need to extend NY SUNY 2020 and rational tuition, including the state's maintenance of effort, for another 5 years. And when you stand with SUNY in 2016, you're telling our state partners that to achieve and maintain excellence in all areas of the university, we must strengthen base support for our state-operated campuses, our statutory colleges, and our community colleges. Standing with SUNY together, we are more organized, better focused than ever. And that's because of the groundwork we laid over the past 7 years. We've worked together to figure out what works, and we know how to grow the best ideas so that they reach every single student. I stood here last year and said that SUNY was committed to becoming the best at getting better. That's been our mantra all year, every day, and it remains true in 2016 and beyond. Simply the best at getting better. We have created momentum by standing up and throwing our shoulders behind that flywheel together. That's systemness, and we want this collective approach and all the multitude of success it yields and has the potential to yield to be SUNY's greatest gift to New York and to all of higher education. By virtue of our being here together today, what has brought us here, we believe in the necessity of higher education to move society forward, to change lives, to save lives, to build communities, drive economies, and birth the best ideas and technologies humankind has ever known. We believe in SUNY's ability and responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges, to be the best at getting better. We believe in the specialness of this system, the State University of New York, and we believe in the power of SUNY. We are the power of SUNY, and together we stand with SUNY. Thank you.